who forcibly entered Rupavahini and disrupted telecast arrests at BIA. July 27th, Sri Lanka, Danish Ali, a social activist involved in a recent protest campaign, was arrested and forcibly dragged off a flight by plain clothesmen at Colombo International Airport on 26/7/22. A leading gold-faced protest site, activist Danish Ali has been arrested by the CID while trying to leave for Dubai on a flight from the BIA this evening, police said. He was accused of entering the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and attempting to disrupt telecasts on July 13th. The police media unit said that there was an arrest warrant against the suspect. Meanwhile, a video circulating on social media shows CID officers attempting to arrest the suspect while inside the plane, despite the passengers on board protesting against the move. Colombo, July 27th. News in Asia. The U.S. ambassador to Sri Lanka, Julie Chung, and the Sri Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe met here on Wednesday and pledged to cooperate for Sri Lanka's better future. After an earlier meeting with Wickremesinghe, Ambassador Chung had tweeted saying that she expressed her grave concern over the crackdown on the protesters. She described the military coup police action as an escalation of violence against protesters and termed it unnecessary and deeply troubling. Wickremesinghe pointed out that even in the US, there are clear norms regarding protests as stated by the American Civil Liberties Union. The ACLU states that protesters are not permitted to block government buildings and interfere with other purposes the property was designed for. The American Civil Liberties Union is a non-profit organization founded in 1920 to defend and preserve the individual rights and liberties guaranteed to every person in this country. The ACLU instructions went on to say, "Your rights are strongest in what are known as traditional public forums, such as streets, sidewalks, and parks. You also likely have the right to speak out on other public property, like plazas in front of government buildings, as long as you are not blocking access to the government building or interfering with other purposes the property was designed for." Wickremesinghe told the diplomats that measures had been taken to ensure that non-violent protests were allowed to proceed within the city without endangering properties or lives. Facilities within Colombo, such as the open-air theatre at Viharamadevi Park, the new town hall, Hyde Park and Campbell Park, were all being made available to non-violent protests. The president appealed to the diplomats not to go entirely by social media reports, but fact checks with concerned officials of the government before tweeting their comments. Opposition leader Mr. Sajith Premadasa said that the current government is engaged in political gambling at a time when even living has become a problem for the people of the country, and this gambling is no solution to everyone's problems like oil, gas, milk powder, fertilizer problems, etc. The opposition leader said today that the country needs a new government to get rid of this situation, and it should be created in a new mandate without a private agreement, and it should be done through a referendum. He emphasized that the message they should give to the country when there are no solutions should not be political gambling, and this political gambling is a characteristic of polluted political culture. The World Bank, Fitch Rating Agency, as well as various diplomats like Samantha Power clearly say that the stability of the country must be strengthened to build the country. The opposition leader further said that there should be a macroeconomic framework, and there is a problem with what the members of the government have done in the past few months without setting this framework. He said that the country can build in this situation only with a new mandate. For that, he said that a new mandate should be given as requested by the religious leaders led by Honorable Mahanayaka Theros, and that sharing government positions will not solve the pain and suffering of 20 billion people. Ranil Wickremesinghe urged the political parties to put aside their differences and form an all-party government which would allow Sri Lanka to recover from the economic crisis. After helping Sri Lanka with unprecedented assistance of around $4 billion since January as the country plunged into a deep economic crisis, India is now planning to invest heavily in new sectors through both private and public firms there. Gopal Bagle, High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, told The Print in an interview. The sectors India will focus on including renewable energy, hydrocarbons, ports and infrastructure, and IT, among others. Both countries are also looking at signing the long-pending Economic and Technology Cooperation Agreement. The top Indian diplomat in Colombo said New Delhi will now work with the new government there, both at the functional and as well as political levels, to facilitate talks for a bailout package by the International Monetary Fund for Sri Lanka, which got stuck earlier as the situation there worsened. Hope this video presentation of the current situation in Sri Lanka was useful. Stay safe and goodbye for now.